This is real, unbiased boxing talk.
Start off by Canelo. Was it shocking to you to see the 3-fight deal, man?
A little bit. The 3 fights. I knew there was a 2-fight deal in play. I don't know the substance of that. I spoke to Sal last night, wishing him all the best. I think it's a good move for him. We didn't have a fight for him. We didn't have an offer for him. He's got to go somewhere, and I think they're the best fights for him at this stage in his career. So, of course, not every Canelo fight works financially for Dazn, but it works for us. So we would have loved to continue promoting him, but I think it's the best move for his career.
What do you think could possibly be those 3 fights?
As I understand it, I think not set, just could be anyone. But I guess obviously Charlo is the front runner for the first one. Maybe a Benavidez fight in the future. I don't know. Morrell, Errol Spence, they've got one of our biggest weaknesses. Well, one of our biggest strengths previously was we had Callum Smith, we had Billy Joe Saunders, we could make the Golovkin fight, we had Dimitri Bivol. This time around, like I said, we couldn't actually make him an offer. But really, we had Bivol, which we couldn't deliver, and we got Belanga that's not going to be ready probably for 2 or 3 fights. So, I think that they've got 2, 3, 4 fights for him there that obviously make sense. And I think this stage in his career, that closing run could be perfect.
We're here on Speed Talk back again with another one. So, guys, now look here, man. I've been trying to explain this and express to people when it came to Canelo Alverz and Dazn and how much money they were losing. But I was a hater. But I'm not a hater when I talk good about Canelo. Then I'm a hater when I talk bad about him. It's just whatever it is. I talk about all boxing, all categories, all stuff. So let's just, what Eddie Hearns said, have you heard him? Have you heard how he was talking and he tried to simplify it and make it sound good and nice? Dazn were financially getting destroyed and didn't like the finances of Canelo fights. But Eddie Hearn enjoyed Canelo fights for himself, for some of the fans, not the fans in general, but some of the, I guess, the fans that just want to see Canelo fight, I guess, no hopers and nobodies and fight people don't want to see, right? I had no idea it was this bad when it comes to finances. When I'm looking at the Dazn fights when he fought Billy Joe Sanders is one of his lowest pay-per-views ever to date. He sold more fighting John Rodder than Billy Joe Sanders. For every fight Canelo had, they lost $5 to $10 million. Let me say it again. $5 to $10 million. Now I'm going to bring this up, guys. Listen here. We have other channels that do the same thing. They talk about the finance, all that stuff. So I try to break this down to an extent too. Not taking nothing from Canelo still being the face of boxing. No matter what people say, Canelo's still the face of boxing because there's no one else selling 300K pay-per-views fighting bums. There's no one else selling 300K pay-per-views fighting nobody. Tank Davis is doing 250, maybe 280, but never close to 300,000. I don't give a hell if it's 2,000 more, 20,000 more. If you're doing more pay-per-view via somebody, you're doing more ticket sales to somebody, guess what? You are the face of boxing. But Tank Davis up next for sure. But let me get back to what I'm saying. I had no idea that Callum Smith and Billy Joe Sanders were his lowest selling pay-per-view sales that they were. The fans, I knew the fans didn't want those fights. The fan girls, the fan boys might want those fights, but the actual boxing fans didn't want to see him fight a Billy Joe Sanders over Canelo Alverz. They would rather see a Demetrius Andre fight than a Billy Joe Sanders fight. If he had fought Demetrius Andre, I guarantee them pay-per-views would have been way over 300,000 pay-per-view buys easily. Because that's when Demetrius Andre was rising. He had a little name for himself. He was a quote-unquote boogeyman of 160 division. But that didn't happen. So now we're seeing why Dazn had issues with... Remember when Golden Boy had to renegotiate Canelo Alvarez contract? It wasn't just because Golden Boy was upset. Dazn didn't like their return. We offered this money, I think it was $365 million, one of the biggest sports contracts ever in history, right? 365, right? Dazn at the first fight. Dazn realized that we let this man pick the fights he wanted to do, and not what was more financially benefiting us. They got this $1 billion influx of cash. They throwing money everywhere. They paying Demetrius Andre $3-4 million. Like this crazy amount to everybody. I mean, everybody was getting overpaid. Because that was the number one destroyer of their basically their ecosystem in their app. Let me keep talking. I'm not saying that I'm not hating on Canelo. I'm giving you guys the facts. Just the facts only. So they gave him this money. Yes, the gates did well. Yes, the pay-per-views did solid. I'm going to say solid because I think you do over 300K pay-per-view vibes or 20K today in 2023 or in 2021 or 2000s when that thing is free online, streaming, TikTok. They got all kind of stuff going on right now that you can get stuff for free, and he's still doing those numbers. The issue came in overpaying. The guy Canelo was fighting was not no $20 million checks, and the other guy get 5 or 10. That didn't work like that. When he fought Billy Joe Saunders, it was a $10 million at max, and that's pushing it. That's pushing it. Oh, his gate did $5 million. His gate did $6 million. Tank Davis gates do just as fine too. Tank Davis gates, when he does his gates, that pays off the stuff they already paid him for what he get for his contract. Look it up. That's facts. I'm not lying about nothing I'm saying. So as we seeing this more and see what's coming to light, Canelo had no other choice to sign PBC because they're the only ones willing to throw away money right now. But guess what? If PBC is smart, it's we throwing away money if we giving the fans what they want. So we're going to get the buys that we want. If PBC don't have lined up Dave Benavidez or Dave Morrell for that 3-fight deal, it's going to be bad. They're going to regret that. PBC has to come to a conclusion of, we already paid. PBC already destroyed themselves. Overpaid everybody. Threw money everywhere. They fighting bums, throwing money, this and this, and now they running dry. This is why PBC has had more bigger fights than most other platforms. They're making fights happen. You guys realize that? They're making these styles fight each other more. Because it's not about now it's finances. Now investors are not happy. Now contracts are getting expired. So we got to make some numbers so we can get some more deals. So we can cop some pleas. There's no excuse for, I'm just telling you guys what it is. And I'm telling you what the numbers are. It's just facts that matter. We have Carissa Shields doing more, I'm just telling you what it is, doing more ticket sales and doing more viewership than most of these dudes can pay multi-million. I'm telling you what it is. I'm talking about back in the day when she fight Hannah Gabriel. Look it up. You can look all this stuff up. Showtime. Viewership numbers boxing. Carissa Shields was doing more views than most dudes ever boxing for the Friday Night Lights or Saturday night or Sunday night boxing, all this stuff, than most of the men. Why you think she had that PFL contract? Why you think other people want to sign? They had to promote. Why she had this and that going on? And $1 million versus Savannah Marshall. Now listen, I'm just telling you guys what it is. Like, I'm just giving you the facts that matter. I love boxing. I love the sport of boxing. Like I say, if anyone gonna be in San Antonio, you love boxing too. I won't be there for the virtual chief versus Stan Jonas. I'm a boxing connoisseur when it comes to it, especially it's right next to me. Come on, man, please don't hit it. But I'm trying to express and show people that even Canelo fans that there's facts to the matter about what's going on in this sport. When these companies overpay and do things, to us it might say, we say, oh, we don't care about the finances. It's about boxing. We're going to get the fights we want. We didn't get the fights we want with Canelo. We didn't. Tell me you saw him fight Connor Smith. He was like, yes. He's fighting Callum Smith. This is going to be a good one. Oh, Billy Joe Saunders, yes. What would have been better? Would it be better if he fought Jamal Charlo when Jamal Charlo was not mentally ill and off a layoff and was ready to fight him and call him out? Would you want that? Would it be better if he fought Demetrius Andre? He's a boogeyman of the division, calling everybody out, getting banned in press conferences. Would you want to see that? When Dave Benavidez was just getting that Mexican monster name from Mike Tyson, when you want to see that? Over the Avani Eardrums? I'm just telling you what it is. So guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video, man. I want you guys to let me know down in the comments. Do you think that Days will now be more financially thoughtful about their signings next? And will they make more fights possible? Because it seems that Eddie Hearns might be under fire from Days to, hey, make shit happen. This why Eddie Hearns was saved by Saudi Arabia for bringing in that influx of cash, because those guys got millions and millions and billions and billions, and they just spending money. You know, it ain't about the shows or the fights or quality. They don't even care. As long as they get a big event in their country, they all good to go. My name, I think you guys watch, man. Please like, comment, subscribe. My man, peace.
Undisputed Talk. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe.